Which personalities here gathered. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. It's time for us to retrieve the books as you make your way down.
Also, the Working with Buhari Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, Mr. Adeshino. Your Excellency, General Buhari, President Buhari, it was a great pleasure to chair a great event in your life, at the book launch of your biography at your presidential inauguration in 2015. I don't know whether you remember that. Here again today, I am privileged to unveil and publicly present your book, The Muhammad Buhari, The Nigerian Legacy, in 5 volumes, and an extra work by your loyal and dedicated special advisor, media and publicity, Chief Femi Adeshino. To all of you distinguished audience and invitees, thank you for your honoring the invitation and making the occasion so memorable. My work is made easy by the production of the 5 volumes of a well-researched and authoritative work, the legacy topics, by many renowned intellectuals and authorities on all the subjects discussed and the various achievements made by President Buhari and his government throughout the 8 years. We shall hear more authoritatively about it from the book reviewer, Mr. Shola Oshinke. Am I right? Very good. The list of the legacy topics to be presented or unveiled today are journey to the presidency up to the first inauguration in 2015, the management of the economy, and the third one is national security and human development, and the fourth one is industry and infrastructure, and the fifth book topic is strategic leadership, governance and development. Now, I won't have to go through all this book. As I've said, Chief Oshinke will do the details. So all these subjects were dutifully monitored by Mr. President, and every subject carefully scrutinized by the whole team, his team, and the President is always in charge. And these, of course, usually are done at the Federal Executive Council meetings. Most of the economic side during your time was largely looked after by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON. And from personal observation and reports that one receives, usually all this work are usually, they all achieve reasonable success, and in all cases. But there is no doubt about it. You know, Nigeria is not bereft of critiques, and strident criticisms are made on any topic or any subject that is done, as though, and then of course giving the impression as though nothing is achieved. I hope you will be convinced by the presentation that would be made, that much was achieved and and acknowledged and commended. I believe that in certain areas there seem to be some lacuna in success. For example, in certain areas of security, and in certain areas of economics, and in certain areas of finances. Yes, we have some problems, but a lot was achieved all the same. However, above all, I salute your courage in your foray or journey into politics, and also in governance and presidency. Can one say, like a good Irishman, the saying, as a good Irishman, the third time, you are third time lucky before you got through and survived the 8-year period. And of course, especially during the second term, in the tense, hostile political contest before your second term, the contest that ultimately brought you and President Ebele Goodluck Jonathan in an exemplary reconciliatory position that augured well for the country as a good example of the future of politics in Nigeria. I think you may recall that he said during the contest, I quote, "My ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian." And he graciously conceded defeat even before the final results were announced. You, Mr. President Buhari, was visibly in a touch and appreciative of that statement or comment, which indeed lowered the political temperature at the time. And of course, we were able to have a successful inauguration, after that. This is a good example of Nigeria to all Nigerian politicians and leaders to emulate. At the end, Mr. President, you are able to ensure a smooth transition and hand over to your successor, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you did this for the good of Nigeria and Nigerians. There were so many, comment at that time, that things will not go right. But it is really great to see you at the podium and handing over to your successor, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I can assure you, I was really, happy that you are able to successfully hand over to another great leader that is going to give Nigeria a new direction as well. Mr. President, before I end, from the invitation that I was given, I saw that I have a co-chairman for this occasion, and that is General I.B. Haruna. I think he's an old colleague. I don't know whether you are colleagues at your training establishment, but at least I know that he would like Famin to ask.
And I stand by already established protocol. It gives me great pleasure to be in Abuja, seat of the federal government, in my first official outing since handing over power on May 29, 2023. I am delighted to be in our federal capital territory, a place that served as home to me between 2015 to 2023, when fate thrust it upon me to be president of our beloved country. Let me thank the President Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for finding time to attend this launching. Our relationships have always been correct and cordial. Let me also take this opportunity to thank all those who took trouble, sometimes undertaking arduous journeys, to visit me in Daura. I thank you all. The two publications launched today, Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Official Advisor on Media and Publicity, 2015 to 2023, written by Femi Adesina, who served as my media advisor for 8 years, and a volume of 5 books, Muhammad Buhari, The Nigerian Legacy, 2015 to 2023, edited by Dr. Udu Yakubu, are worthy to temporarily bring me out of resting in my native Daura back to the city. These books presented today once again exemplify the sanctity of records and the role they play in documenting facts and figures, achievements and milestones, either in our personal lives or in the life of the nation. I told Adesina when he visited me in Daura with an advance copy of his book, he has done the nation a favor in writing it, as he has provided a one-stop shop on our stewardship to the country. The same has also been done by Dr. Udu Yakubu and his colleagues. Without documentation, revisionalism wins. Human beings often have short memories, and unless events are recorded in cold print, some people will come and attempt to either distort or even obliterate recent history. But the fact in our favor is that nothing was done under the veil of secrecy. We were as transparent and accountable as possible, being aware of the fact that posterity was the ultimate judge. We kept records of our stewardship, knowing that we would always be required to account for the trust entrusted to us. This event today is part of the accounting for our 2 terms in office, and I thank those who have labored day and night to ensure that this history is recorded for now and the future. Government is a continuum. It is like a relay race. You run your course and hand over the baton to the next person. This we have done, and the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has my support and confidence in the quest for us to have a country of our dreams where there is emancipation for our teeming population. With the cumulative achievements of government after government, I believe we will get there in no distant future. In our journey to the desired destination, there will be hard decisions taken, and the people would bear some costs. We can only seek their understanding and state that there was no intention to deliberately inflict pain and anguish on anyone. This is why I apologize to such people at the end of our time in office. Sacrifices are still being made now and will continue to be part of our national life and development. Governments will continually seek the understanding and support of the people they lead for our ultimate good and goal. Let revisionists not to rejoice that they have the ultimate say in the bid to distort history. Facts and records will ultimately prove them wrong. When some people engage in deliberate falsehood and distortion of facts that pertain to our tenure in office, I take solace in the fact that the records are there and will remain inviolable. My special thanks goes to the chairman of the occasion, General Gowon, GCFR, for always being there for us. The General, sir, I am most appreciative. Special thanks also goes to the co-chairman of the occasion, General IBM Haruna OFR, for his unflinching support and encouragement. My appreciation also goes to the book launcher, Alhaji Muhammad Indimi, OFR, for his continuous support. I am truly honored and overwhelmed by those of you that have created time to be with us here today, and I cannot thank you enough. I remain committed to our great party, the All Progressive Congress, and the leadership of Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I have abiding faith in the strength, unity, and future of Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you for listening.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there will be a symbolic signing of the book, Muhammadu Buhari, The Nigerian Legacy, which Mr. President will receive copies of. And I would like to urge His Excellency, the former President, to sign those books. Dr. Udu Yakubu, if you bring the book forward, there's a table here for him to sign. While that is going on, I would like at this moment to invite Engineer Mansour Ahmed of the Dangote Group to come forward and give the vote of thanks. Engineer Mansour Ahmed is making his way. He was former president of the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, a forward-looking engineer and a very distinguished Nigerian personality.
Your Excellency, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, our former President, Your Excellency, the Chairman of this occasion, the former Head of State, General Gowon.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Excellency, the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, Your Excellency, the former Head of State of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Gowon, the President of the Senate, and the Speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly, Your Excellencies, Governors present, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by congratulating my dear brother Femi Adesina for writing this book, Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity. There have been quite a few books already written about President Buhari, and they cover a lot of detail, a lot of it historical, and of course several about his numerous achievements since he first came into office in 1983. But the reason why this personal account will be interesting for those who read it, and I have had the particular good fortune of having read it before today. The reason why this is particularly interesting is because even after 8 years of being president, President Buhari, and so many books written, President Buhari still remains an enigma to many Nigerians who want to understand who really is President Buhari. Not the public persona, but who is he as a person. And I think Femi Adesina has done a great job, especially in covering an aspect of the former president that is not well known, which is his sense of humor, his ability to tell a good joke and to take a good joke, his ability to laugh at himself. I have a long repertoire of Buhari jokes, and Femi has helped me to add a few more, and one day soon, we will launch a book, this time not working with Buhari, but laughing with Buhari. But permit me to share a few anecdotes. Femi Adesina writes that on the day that the then president, President Buhari, this was his first day in office at the villa, he requested him to meet with journalists accredited to the villa in the State House Press Gallery. And the president came in, he shook hands with them, with all the journalists, and as they introduced themselves, he had something to say to each of them. Then when Juliana Taiwo Obalonye introduced herself as representing the Sun newspapers, the president said, warn your cartoonist, my chin is not as long as he usually makes it. Sometime in 2019, I complained to him very bitterly about a libelous comment that was made against me, and that I wanted to give him notice that I would be suing those who had libeled me. And he said to me in his usual style, Professor, don't let these people bother you. Do you know what they did to me recently? They actually printed an invitation card that I was going to get married. He said, on a Friday at the National Mosque, he said, and you won't believe Nigerians, there were thousands of them waiting for me at the National waiting for me to come and get married. And to tell you that President Buhari was always ready to laugh at himself. Of course, we've heard already from General IBM Haruna, retired, of how, when he was being criticized about his journeys and all that. But the second part of that story is that Femi also additional tells a story of how, following his overseas trips, which were criticized, by the press, in an opinion piece in the newspaper criticizing his travels abroad, the headline was, "When will President Buhari visit Nigeria?" End of quote. And the president laughed and laughed. I remember sometime in 2016, just before he went on his medical vacation, I told him I wanted to visit the oil-producing communities in the Delta, and that I thought dialogue with the militants in the wake of the destruction of pipelines and other assets was a good idea. And he told me the experiences of the then Minister of Youth and Sports, Dalong, who had visited the Delta some time back. But while agreeing with me that it was a good idea, and just as I was getting up to leave, he said with that mischievous glint in his eye, "Professor, don't be the first vice president to be kidnapped." There's a story that the president likes to tell, and it is about the German sentry. And Femi Adesina recounts that story in the book. And President Buhari told that story again when the peace committee headed by General Abdul Salam Abubakar visited him. And also in that team were the Sultan of Sokoto and Bishop Hassan Kuka. They had come to appeal to him and that the anti-corruption war should be waged within the ambit of the rule of law. The president listened patiently and then responded, "In the military, there used to be a joke about the German sentry." And he then explained that when a sentry is on duty at night, an ordinary sentry, and he hears any movement in the dark, he would back out. Who goes there? Advance to be recognized, with his gun ready. He will then interrogate the person, and if he tells an acceptable story, he waves the person on. But the German sentry is different. When he hears a movement in the dark, he immediately lets out a volley of shots, and then he shouts, "Who went there?" Of course, there will be absolute silence because he's already killed the person. The president then explained to his audience that when he came as a military ruler, he was like the German sentry. I packed all the people who were suspected of corruption and kept them in protective custody. And I told them that they were corrupt until they could prove themselves innocent. But now, under a democratic setting, I see corrupt people going around in Rolls-Royce cars, but they remain innocent until I can prove them guilty. Femi Adesina writes that on one occasion, President Buhari sent him to represent him at a book launch. And when he asked him, "So how much should I donate on your behalf?" President Buhari said, "Give them a big smile and tell them that that is what I sent." I hope on behalf of the authors today that those of you here will come with more than a big smile. Congratulations again, my brother Femi Adesina, and congratulations to President Buhari for yet another literary celebration of your intriguing and significant life and times. Thank you all very much.
Tinubu, our former president, other excellencies here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the House of Representatives, I was expecting my senior brother to speak on our behalf because National Assembly is one. I would have wanted the invitation to be done together so that whatever we're going to buy will be for the National Assembly, not just one branch of the National Assembly, because we operate as one and it's one institution. So
well guided.
Thank you. So since my senior brother is here, I'm sure we will be able to, from his own part, indicate the number of books we'll buy for the National Assembly. So I invite my senior brother to pronounce.
But, Mr. Chairman of the National Assembly, as you make this purchase, please do remember the city of Gilgal.
Thank you, Gilgal. Mr. President, the former president and the former head of state, all protocols duly observed. My brother knows that it takes two to tango. Without two of us, there is no act of parliament. And of course, the presidents will have to sign. But initially, I never knew that the National Assembly will be recognized here. Bearing in mind that the book contains the debacle of Bukola Saraki and Dogara. And so I'm sure as we are reading, we may not be well placed inside the book. So everybody avoided the Senate President and the Speaker. Once they come nearer, they will say, all protocols observed. So I just said, see what Bukola has done to us. But be that as it may, we want to congratulate the former president and the writers and to say that, yes, indeed, President Buhari was one man that was totally misunderstood until God brought him back as a civilian president. So congratulations. This is a major milestone. Personally, I worked closely with you, and one day I said that you were totally misunderstood. Nigerians really did not know you. Just one incident, because I'm not supposed to say anything, because National Assembly has not been recognized. So, just one incident. I worked with the president, and he wanted to do just a reassignment of a staff. And he mentioned it to me in his office. I'm going to reassign one of your colleagues, so expect a new person in your office. I said, thank you, Mr. President. Do I have a copy of the letter? He said, no, today is Friday. I don't know whether he will be happy with the reassignment. And I don't want his children to be sat on a weekend. So I will not do it until Tuesday. So I said, Mr. President, he said I won't do it until Tuesday. I want them to have a beautiful weekend. So that's the human touch of President Buhari that many Nigerians are not even aware of. Sir, history will place you positively in this country. Congratulations, sir. So the National Assembly, myself and my brother, Tajuddin Abbas, we recognize the fact that the National Assembly is last in this event, but we believe that others will collectively donate up to 600 copies for the National Assembly. So we will not want to do, because sometimes when people say, I'll announce the amount later, sometimes you may not see them, because they must have flown out. They must have flown out of the country, so you may not see them to even get the amount. So we will start with a token of 50 million. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For want of time,
Welcome to Abuja. Since you passed the baton up to me, I have seen many of your jokes, and you have realized it's not just a walk in the park. Your Excellency, the chairman of today's occasion, our former head of state, General Gowon, the father of a nation, and General Haruna. Well, thank you for those good times at Mobu. All right. The Senate President, Speaker, House of Representatives, all other leaders of our country here present. The former Vice President Osinbajo, Chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum and other governors here present. Please spare me the time to go through the very arduous list of protocol. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's just a very, very beautiful day. Mrs. Buhari, where is that new wife that thank you for all you've done for this country. You've been a mother, a leader, and a good wife. Thank you. Let me thank the organizers of today's book launch for providing me the opportunity and the ambience to reunite with my predecessor, former President Muhammadu Buhari, since he left the office, May 29, 2023. After handing over, you said, I'm far away in Daura. But if you need me, contact me. But I won't intrude in whatever you are doing. I won't interfere or breathe down your throat. We've partnered to make democracy flourish in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, thank you. Except when I call him to say, are you leaving? Are you being in the farm? You don't hear from him either to nominate or intrude in the cabinet or complain about occasions. Thank you for being who you are, a civic. When you left the office, you left many barrels and a bunch of tasks for me for continuity. And I told people, I inherit the asset and liability of my predecessor. No matter what I say. We always joke sometimes. And you say you can never please Nigerians. But yours is to focus, work hard, and satisfy your conscience. You have done that. It is reflected. You serve our country with dedication and a common seal. I was talking to somebody last night that I'll be at this book launch. said, "Oh, I remember you sold us Buhari." I said, "Stop where you are. I'm not talking to you about a disclaimer. I'm talking to you about a program that I really appreciated and will continue to appreciate. Being here face to face with you is being here with a great documentation of history, candor, integrity, and character. The author of the books, they might have done their best, but what Nigeria we gain from the book is what history must do. And that history is in the book. And I'm glad history has been reintroduced and it is part of our curriculum in various schools and it will be emphasized. I promise you. You assume office at a very difficult time in our nation's life. The economy was plunging into recession. Boko Haram has taken over so many local governments and some part of our country. It is easy to forget that United Nations building was attacked here in Abuja. It's easy to forget the role of armed forces. But if this book is carefully read and taught in terms of substance in our various schools, the job of securing every inch of our nation may not be completed, but you did a wonderful job. And we will not rest, I promise you, until every agent of darkness is completely eliminated. It's a sovereign country. I'm glad to listen to you making a commitment to my administration for support and real politician, a Democrat in you, that you are still dedicated and committed to our party, the largest party in Africa. Well, I've emulated you. One of those is non-interference, being a Democrat, responsibility for nation building, staying on course. I am determined to do just that because I campaigned for this job. And you told me in our discussions, it's not easy. But I went out there dancing for it, making promises, doing kokoma, doing all kalangos, making music, so I cannot complain. I will be there. In addition to going through the Niger Bridge and many other things you've done, people would not realize the interconnectivity necessary for economic growth in our rail project, in our port project. How vital it is to the economic growth of this nation. a silent worker, a man who is a very, very organized and disciplined individual. President Muhammadu Buhari, thank you for what you've done. To many of you, I thank you for coming to this event. It has been a wonderful time for our nation. Very wonderful indeed. We are facing the roller coaster. Same part of what to do. We removed subsidy. We stopped those people fleecing Nigerians. Yes, I know they will complain. They did same thing all over. The lesson is learned from you. But the milk of kindness for a nation development and prosperity is not fermented from you. It's learned. How much I cherish the editions of this book is by promoting it as a subject matter in the history classrooms of our universities and secondary schools. Then, according you, a civic subject matter of our nation. I wish you a very successful time and retirement life, but not tired life, a prosperous one. I know you won't take a penny from the book launch proceeds, but continue to be part of the pillar for our future development. Thank you. Muhammadu Buhari.